Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Woo! Let's go. Right back. Good day, good people. Hold up. Good day. Woo! Let's go. Good day, good people. It's your boy, G Dash Jones. Y'all know what it is. Now I'm right back in the zone, y'all. Hold up. Woo. Y'all know. Whew. I always start off with the music. That was Devon Daniil, The Zone. Yes. That's the vibes. Devon Daniil, that was The Zone. Had to start off with the bops. You feel me? Oh man. Today, this is an episode of Hats Off with your boy, G-Dash Jones. Y'all know it, man. We cooking today. Let me tell y'all what we cooking today. Today, my guest today is the amazing, if y'all don't know, the wonderful. If y'all don't know, I'm going to tell you about it right now. She go by the name of Kristin Bowen, y'all. Woo! We going to talk. When I say we going to talk, Kristin Bowen, we going to talk about everything from her on her health journey and getting her body together, getting her mind together, because she owns a business by the name of Legendary Mind and Body, where not only does she help herself, but she does help others get their body and get their mind conditioned for progress. She is also a director at the Launcher Program, which also helps budding entrepreneurs with their entrepreneurship. Say what? Yes. So she's helping people get their bodies and their minds together, and she's helping businesses grow, right? When I say grow, it's not just with the planning of it, but also kind of showing them where the resources are to build as an entrepreneur herself. And right, what? We're not done. And she's a published author. Say something. And say something. Hold up. What they saying? So we will be talking to Kristin Bowen in just a moment. All about all the things that she's been cooking up. I have to take a moment, right, to just I take a few seconds to give some flowers to some people. So listen, I do. I need everybody to know, right? Me, right? I'm gonna be live, okay? I'm gonna be live and in person, right? On 421. Say what? 421 so there's a 24-hour 420 show, okay, festival, if you will, presented by Weedstock, Delaware. That's a fact, right? And if you ever been to a G-Dash Jones show, then you know what it is. It's gonna be me, Aziza Naila. What? Yes, we got a whole little world intertwined, and it's gonna be something. It's gonna be poetic, and she got the vocals. I said Aziza got the vocals. We gonna shut that down. It's gonna be a different type of vibe. Again, we are 421 at the 420 festival, right? Listen, and if you listen, that it only costs $40 to get in, and you get it's almost like a food truck festival is happening there too. There's gonna be several food trucks. A nice amount of food trucks is in the business, right? Go check that out, right? Boom. There's gonna be a lot of vendors vending. There's going to be a lot of vendors vending at the 420 festival. Do what y'all want with that information. But I will be performing. Me and Aziza will be performing. Okay? It's going to be a dope festival. It's a festival. Yes. And I got Cosmic Kai on my bill too. So it's going to be something different. I need y'all to be... Flavor Dish going to be in the building. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's going to be, I'm going to run a promotion. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to see if I even have, somebody going to do a raffle during my set too. I don't know who. And my set going to end with a cannon. What? I said my set will end with a cannon. Why? Because we here now. So y'all deal with that information. So, all right, that's the 421 festival. Last thing, one other thing I got to mention, because I'm performing with Aziza Naila and those vocals, I got to give her a shout out, right? Aziza, Raz Mustafa, Sweet Friend Sean, right? Put this show together, and Fred Reed. They put a show together on Saturday that was like none other. It was called Peace, Love, and Poetry in the Soul Opera Radio. I want to thank everybody who was able to come through. Shouts out to Miss Crystal. She spit a poem to me after, right? We was up in there, we created a song live on stage, live and in person. It was just something special. So shouts out to Fred Reed, Sweet Friend Sean. It was her birthday. Happy birthday to her. You know what I'm saying? It was the energy was amazing. Like, I'm trying to tell you, if you was a guest sitting in that audience, you saw some of the dopest stuff in your life. right? Shout Fred Reed. You should have seen Fred's jacket. Amazing. So shouts out to them. Just gotta give out some flowers, y'all. Almost done. I'm about to bring up Kristin. This hat's off, but I had some flowers to give up. Also, Friday. That Friday. Just gonna sound crazy. I was at Delaware Music Network. Was at Finnegan's with Dickens and Ballsworth. Don't judge me, y'all. Dickens and Ballsworth. Don't judge me. I said their name was Dickens and stop it, Ballsworth. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's their names, right? They were an Irish band. They did an Irish show. When I tell you, it was some of the most fun that you just seen them up in there. They was rocking. I didn't even know Dickens and Ballsworth was going to do all that. That was like, they literally had a sold out show in the vibe. I didn't see it coming, but that's what they did. They was up in there talking about, I'm too sexy for my, and it was fun. Like, it was a lot of fun. They was literally playing the drums on the shovel, and like, it was just a lot of fun on a sold out show. Shouts out to Finnegan's. Shouts out to Dickens and Ballsworth. They did a public service announcement for Narcan mid-show, and it was still fun. It was amazing. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Shouts out to Scott Michaels and that whole initiative. Great show. Shouts out to them. And of course, the Delaware Music Network. So third Friday of every month, that's what we be doing. Next month, we got Dyad at Finnegan. So we're always outside. Come see us. Last but not least, last flowers. Right? Sunday, y'all. Woo! Where is he at Sunday? Sunday was the honorees. Sunday were honorees. Okay, you might be saying, who got honored on Sunday? I'm going to tell you who got honored on Sunday, right? It was the Her Legacy brunch. Ooh, I had the pleasure of working the black carpet, y'all. I was out there. I was out there working the black carpet, y'all. That's what they did. They said, gee, Dad, we're going to need you to go ahead and work this black carpet. I went and worked that black carpet. When I tell you, I want to say it was almost about 9 honorees. All of the women were amazing, not just in their stature and what they represented, but in their business that they came with, the reason why they were being honored. I was literally honored to be able to be a part of the interviewing them on the black carpet. I was truly I felt blessed to just talk to all these amazing women about the things that they were able to do. It was beautiful, right? Everybody was smelling good. Like when you ever walk into a room and you just be like, it just smells great in here. Like, it smells amazing. Shouts out. The food was delicious. It was a dope spread. Like some of the speeches made my eyes a little moist. Okay, the speeches might have made my eyes a little moist, but it was a beautiful affair. Shouts out to Sarah Crawford. She even honored her mama. What? She honored her mama, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. It was so dope. Again, so many honorees that I'm gonna be tapping on. I gotta interview some of y'all. We gotta talk, right? It was such a beautiful effort. Thank everybody. I honor you. I appreciate you for just being as dope as you were. Harvey Road performed, bringing the funk. DJ Barbonian out there. You know what it is. So, and with that said, right, somebody would be like, hey, G, you know what? One of the honorees, right? One of the honorees that we spoke to, Miss Kristin Bowen. That's right. She was one of the honorees, and you guessed it, here she is coming up right now. Listen, let me tell y'all right now, we got Miss Kristin Bowen in the building with the peep out. So, right, and we gonna make sure that we have a conversation now, and y'all can see why she was honored with such an amazing award in this moment. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am in here in my little car living room, if you don't mind. So hopefully we'll get some peace and quiet while the 4 kids stay inside.
Yes. Shouts out to the children. Okay. I like to give shouts out to the kids. It helps keep them quiet, right? They feel like they got a little love, in the atmosphere.
That's true. You could probably place bets on one of them coming out here at some point, like a knock on the window. You're going to see a hand. Something is happening at some point during this discussion.
I appreciate a child who knows what they want. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. With that said, to give you your flowers, again, this is Hats Off with G-Jones. I'm honored to be able to have you here to sit so we can chop it up. But first, in case the people don't know who you are, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's a loaded question. I'm about to hit the 40 club. that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty hype about that. As I said, I have 4 kids, all daughters, so I am accepting all prayers, well wishes. You know, I need it all. I'm raising 4 mini versions of myself. Um, and yeah, I think I'm a lifelong learner. Like, I am the girl who is tried roller derby, amateur boxing, started learning handstands last year. And last week I was trying to figure out an Excel formula for an access database. Like, I just want to know all the things.
You
um
want to know all
all
the things.
the things. Yeah.
Wait, so roller derby,
Roller derby.
right? So did you fight? Like, did somebody catch the beats? I want to
Look,
know.
I can't show you because of the shirt, but I did break my collarbone playing roller derby. We'll just leave it at that.
Did you win though?
Um,
Did you win? Oh.
I don't know if I won in that moment, but shout out to Wilmington Rough Rollers. They are now Diamond State Roller Girls. I mean, they're kicking it, so you gotta love it.
Listen, right, and you the honoree that does help lives. You winning that life, okay?
Yeah,
Who needs them skates?
that's right.
We'll need skates anyway.
That's right. Yeah,
So
I mean,
okay,
they're good.
let's get into this a little bit. So now, what people don't know, if they met you at this juncture in your life, okay, then they see you now, right? They didn't see you when, before you had a vegan restaurant that was successful. They didn't see you before you were helping entrepreneurs be successful. And they sure enough didn't. They might not have seen you before you had the legendary mind and body situation where you were helping other people get their health together. What made you want to get your health together? How did you wind up on that journey?
Man, I think, for a lot of women, I think it's sort of a lifelong journey, right? We're just like concerned with our bodies for some vanity reasons, maybe in the beginning, which is totally fine. We do want to look good and feel good and all that good stuff. I would say it really hit me after my 4th daughter, right? About 10 years ago. She just turned 8, but really about 10 years ago when I really started getting passionate about, okay, I don't want to just like look good for 4 kids. I want to look good, period, right? Like, I want to live my best life in my 30s, and not be always thinking back, oh, when I was in high school, I looked this way and felt that way. So it started there, right? It started with just that pure, like, wanting to look good. And through that process is where I really started to evolve and decided, oh, it's actually the mindset, right? Like, now I can love that old version of myself. It sucks that I had to get to the newer version before I could love that old version. But now I'm like, that girl wasn't so bad. Like, I accept that girl in all her parts. So yeah, it's been a process, and I love being able to now share that with other people, what my process was, and bring it to others.
So what was that like? Like the actual moment of saying, you know what, I gotta go do something different. What was it like to kind of be in that transformative era mindset? Like, how did you get there, and like, how did you do that part?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it was a journey, right? I started like just on the cardio machines, just running because I didn't know, right? I was like, what do you do? I'm just going to run the fat off or whatever that case may be. It wasn't until I really zoomed in on my nutrition and focused on like getting protein, getting my water. And I started to see a glimpse of feeling good, right? Like, not just looking good, but I was like, oh, my mind is a little more clear. I'm not as foggy. I am a little less stressed. And so I just started building on that. And that's where I learned to fall in love with the movement that worked for me. And like, I love the gym. I know not everybody likes the gym. Okay. You do not have to like the gym. But I also like handstands. And like last year, handstands became my therapy, like literally therapy. So it was like, I have to do this every day so that I feel good on the inside. And it wasn't about, my body. It wasn't about changing any of that. And there really was this shift that I can't put my finger on other than finding the thing that works for you, and it's not the same for everyone. So I think that's important.
All right, listen, hold up, I gotta talk to them. If I'm not gonna say it again, so just rewind it, okay? Find the thing that's healthy for you, that works for you. It's a 2-for-1 special. You may not know it until you do
Yeah.
it, right? You may not know it till you do it, but find the thing right? It may not be handstands. You know, you might got the weak elbows, right? You can't with the weak elbows, they might not work for you. But whatever you got to do, find that thing and allow that to prosper. Now, okay, so you got into this mindset where you like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and shift. How did you know you wanted to help other people shift their mindset and kind of like you said, hey, I want to not, this isn't just for me. I want to give this gift to others. How'd you get there?
Yeah. I mean, that's always been my passion, right? Helping people from the jump. I used to be a teacher. Having kids in general, like I'm always helping somebody. And so I think it was natural for me to say, hey, this worked for me, right? Like I struggled for 10 or 15 years trying to figure this out. I found the thing that works. I'm not trying to gatekeep it. Let me give this to everyone else, right? We can all be happy. We can all share this space together. And I think that's what's really great. Like I feel good making other people feel good. And so it was a natural place to be.
So now once you started to say, hey, I'm gonna start coaching others, I'm gonna get into this world, or once you made the decision, right? Because it all starts in the mind first. So mentally you made the decision that you were going to do this thing. How difficult was it to actually do the thing?
Okay, I'm gonna answer this in two parts. I feel like half of me is like it wasn't hard at all. Like I'm the risk taker. I'm the girl who literally was a teacher, got a concussion, was out of work for 6 weeks, then decided to go buy a food truck. Like I just did it. Okay, so making the shift, when I make a decision to do something, I'm gonna do it. That's not very hard. Now the process and the journey, right, of owning a business and going through the hurdles and having that responsibility of caring for other people's livelihood, like you're trusting me with your health, that's the tough part, right? That's the part that'll mess with your brain. And you get all the inspiration, I guess, from it, right? The joy, it fills you up. But it's a lot. It can be stressful to know that people are relying on you to a certain extent. And so how can you teach them to do that for themselves, right? To not become codependent on Kristin has all the answers, because I don't, right? But that they actually have the answers from within themselves, and that I can build that confidence for them to utilize themselves. So
How did you get over that overwhelming feeling? Because that feels overwhelming, right? It's like you got 4 kids. So like there's a moment when having children feels like, wait, these people rely on me? Are you sure? It's like are you sure to do this? Now let alone random folk that's looking at you. And these are other people who are looking up to you because of the journey that you've shown results in. It's not like you didn't, like you showed them, you did the things, you advertised it, you said you did this, right? Okay, how'd you get over that overwhelming feeling that may hit?
I mean, I don't think you ever get over it, right? You never get over the feeling. You move through it. And that's like with anything else. That's a lot of what I do with a lot of my mindset stuff is like, you have to feel it, right? We have to experience and shift and move through that process. I think some of the things I do that make it easier is surrounding myself with people who are going to continue to encourage me and uplift me and say like, no, Kristin, don't quit, right? Like we need you. The other thing I do that, feels counterintuitive sometimes, but is being vulnerable with the people that I connect with, showing them that, no, I'm not perfect. I'm not the perfect mom. I'm not the perfect wife. I yell at my kids. I get mad at my husband. I do all those same things. And this is how we can connect and you can build trust with me. And that makes it easier. That makes it easier that we're all on the same team. It's not, like I said, it's not that I know everything and other people don't. So it's our purpose, right? You can't just say, oh, I found my purpose, but I'm not going to do it. This is too hard. I need to stop. I need to go, work somewhere else. No, that's not how we do it. So here we are.
Absolutely. I love everything about that because that is something that can be very difficult. Again, just forgive me. I'm talking to y'all in the back, right? Everybody can't go. Sometimes you got to find the circle who will help encourage you through the processes that you're going through. Go ahead, rewind that back. But you got the circle that's going to help encourage you, because sometimes those voices, they'll either help build you up or they'll help break you down or leave you stagnant. But you choose who those voices are around you.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as I'm telling you, you're giving nothing but gems here. Like it's just all around. Okay.
I'm talking to
All
myself.
right. Again,
I'm gonna rewind it back too on one of these hard days and listen to myself.
yes,
Like what would I say?
yes. I'll take the extra views. So here's how this works. I'm thinking. G, update your calendar.
Let's go see Shook Daniels and the Sweet Boys Band Sound Blissful playing on the Coast Show. Cardio drumming, how glorious will the workout be in the B Suite at the Juice Joint 2.0. Connect at Crow Bar in Trolley Square. Networking happy hours there with Spur Impact back at the tagged at What's the Word Virtual Open Mic. It's a blessing, has a list of them to help you write. Get your business right, find funding, be fair. SBDC grants access at the Grants Fair. The weather's fair, winter nights are on fire. Hezekiah BB Coker, the reciter, hosted by Dr. Tracy Curry, the igniter. Her lighter, the leaders of poetry out loud. Shout out loud, seminar in the Wilmington Library. Be empowered by disadvantages with the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League. Stay at home with me, hats off with G-Jones on IG. Guest this week, Kristin Bowen, Hanif Salam. It's positive vibes in the park, Walif Salam. AJ Harton, that's urban art. Main Street Alley Art, Stroll Up. Middletown Art Loop, arts by Angelova. Enjoy the bloom. It's time to win again at the Win event. See the lineup? Money well spent. The Comedy Corner at Bootlist is hilarious. Fundraiser raising laughs at everyone from K-Mac to Stacks. If you want to do spoken word, slam, or read some things, CIG Starfield Saturdays, Valerie Lorraine. Soca and Paint, the island vibes are out. Dirty Wine by a Canvas at the Stitch House. The weekends listening to deep conversations with Ryan Stewart or Marriage Go Round with...
Yeah, this is hats off for G-Jones. I have Mrs. Kristin Bowen with me, her legacy honoree, as well as published author and legendary mind and body coach. Oh, it's phenomenal here. So, right. So now you're at this place, right, where here's the interesting part. You're already coaching people and helping them, and you had a food truck and you're helping them people eat right, right? How did you even get to this entrepreneur space? Like, what made you say, you know what, I'm built to run a business myself? Yeah, how'd you get there?
Yeah, I mean, so growing up, my mom always was in sales and worked for herself. So I think I saw that it was possible, right? Like I was just in the environment to know I can do what I love and not have someone tell me what to do. It was really 2008 was my first marriage, right? I'm happily divorced, now happily married also. But as I was planning that wedding, that was my first dip into entrepreneurship because I was like, oh, this is really easy for me. Like, I'm not stressed. I'm not feeling like a bridezilla. I've kind of got this down pretty easy. And so I started my first business, which was an event planning business. And from there, I was just like, oh, this is what you do, right? You follow your passion and you build a business off of it. Why not? So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. How are you able to pivot away from that business and still be okay with it? Right? A lot of times we see people like they start the business, and if they don't want to do it, if life shifts and whatnot, they get stuck or their ego gets in the way, their pride gets in the way, all the things. How were you able to be like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm done with that.
Yeah. You know what? That's really funny because the same thing happened with V-Trap, where when the pandemic happened, we toughed it out a couple months, and there was a day I looked at my husband. I was like, yeah, we're done, right? Like, I'm done. I'm ready to close. And he's like, no way. I'm like, no, it's time. Like, this is the right choice. And I think for me, it's always that you could go back to it, right? Could I open a restaurant again if I want to? Yes. It's not a failure. This was a point in time. This was the space, we did what we could with what we had. And to me, I think sometimes a lot of us will hold on to something, and that's that suffering where we're like holding on so dearly instead of seeing, all right, what else is available here? Where are some more sort of opportunities that I could utilize at this point? So I think for me, I just always know you can go back to it. When I bought the food truck, we started the restaurant. It's like, all right, if this doesn't work, I'll go back to teaching. All right, what's so bad about that? So I think once you kind of get that mindset, it's easy to move on. Not easy,
Absolutely. Listen, I ain't gonna, y'all better rewind that part because she's talking to y'all. Listen, I tell you. Okay. Now, okay. So even with legendary mind and body, how did you know that you said, you know what, I want to own this? Because you could have easily been a health coach at somebody else's anything, right? But you said no. I think this is We're gonna own this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. What made you decide to go to that arena with that?
Yeah, I think because what I bring is unique, right? Like there's a lot of coaches out there. There's a lot, and there's different coaches for different things. And I think, like I said earlier, like I really love connecting with people on that one-on-one basis. And so the people that are for me are going to be for me, and they're not going to want to go to the, business down the street that has 10 different coaches that can help them. They're going to want to connect with me, and I want to connect with them. So, I wanted to be able to have the freedom and the ability to shift and pivot as I see fit, to be able to help people, as much as I wanted to, without someone else sort of telling me what to do or how to do it. And I think, some of my methods may be a little outside of the box sometimes. And so finding like another program or another system wasn't going to be the way for me. So, this is how it had to be.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you why I love what you just said. Sometimes it's to me, when people are creating a business specifically, part of the reasoning, it needs to be that you want to do something that doesn't leave you as an employee. Like, you don't want to do the things that others are doing. It's not just about who you work for or what you own. That ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about, hey, what's your vision and how are you being able to carry this out, right? Because if you have a vision that's different than what they're doing, it wouldn't even make sense for you to work with somebody else. It doesn't fit, right? So that's what initially did. Now, hold on now. Because after you started, because no, you did a thing, right? You said, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, right? You've been entrepreneuring, right? I'm going to get my health together. You've been having your health together. And then you said, hold on, we're going to help other people be entrepreneurs. Right? Because what made you then want to help other entrepreneurs be better entrepreneurs? Like, how did that happen?
Right. Again, it's sort of these natural steps that occurred where it's like I'm coming from the teaching world. I actually several years ago, right, had the restaurant. Launcher program asked me to start teaching. I actually was a trainer just like you. Shout out to Launcher, right? And it was such a great space to be able to, again, provide that knowledge. It's like, I've gone through the tough part. I've figured out some steps. Let me give you the key. Like, let's all be entrepreneurs, right? I need some friends in this. It can be a lonely space to be entrepreneurs, but I think, really just getting to see people's passion. Like every day, like people coming in and they're like, listen, this is the business I want to open. Here's the problem I want to solve. Or I really love making t-shirts or cupcakes, and they want it so bad. And I think it helps remind me of why I started my business, right? Like, why do I want to be an entrepreneur? So, and not to mention just the collaboration. Like, I love working with people who want to work with other people and uplift each other. And that is what Launcher Program brings. Like, the community that we have inside of that space is so strong. And I think that's amazing. Something positive that I don't want to let go.
I know that's right. What are some of the moments that stick out to you throughout this space of building others up and building entrepreneurs up that kind of always will live with you?
There's plenty, but I think one just like really cool moment, Randall Law was one of my students. I had to call him a student, right? Like, he's not a student, he's a grown adult, but
he's a learner. He's a learner. Anybody can be a learner.
He's a learner. He was one of the first people in my training class, the first training classes. And so now to see his business flourish, where full circle, I'm now director of the program, and like, everyone's talking about his business. He's winning grant funding and all these things. It's like, oh, cool. Like, not that I can take any credit for his business at all, but it is like, I got to be part of his beginning story. And how cool is that I got to watch his process from him going from where he was to now just booming. So I think it's really, really cool.
Yes. Again, sorry, I got to talk to the people. Listen, if you want, you can go back on YouTube or Facebook. Watch the Randall Law episode. Yeah, he did. He talked about it. Okay, I talked to him. We did one of these. Okay, it was a great conversation. You want to learn some things? He gonna talk about it, and he coming to my class on the 4th to talk to the people. So, by the way, I got him coming through. So yeah, it's full circle. We want this to be full circle. Everybody wins. Everybody eats. in that realm. So that is beautiful. That is one of your success stories, because that it's such so pivotal, not just for him but for the community, right? Couple things that happen, shouts out, we working on the virtual marketplace. They're gonna be able to go to launch.com, get that virtual marketplace going on to have their business a part of it, right? Shouts out to Dominic doing the Saturday, the small business Saturdays. People go out, there's some ways of which is working to create an ecosystem, right? It's not just one thing, but it's going to be bigger than that. Now, all right, we're having this conversation. You're dropping gems all over the place. There was a time when you picked up a pen, okay? And when you picked up that pen, you said to yourself, I'm going to I'm going to write down some gems, okay? Like, because you just be giving out good information on all mediums at this point, okay? What made you decide to be a part of a book? Shouts out to Unveiling the Secrets.
Yes. Listen, I fought that journey so hard to not write a book. Like,
Really?
when I tell you, I have notes from years ago. I keep opening old journals where it's like, write the book, write the damn book, Kristin. Like, literally, it's like dates, write the book. I'm going to go back at least 4 or 5 years where I was getting this push. And of course, in my mind, imposter syndrome is like, who the heck are you? Like, you don't even write. Like, you barely journal. Like, you don't even like to write. You're left-handed. It hurts your hand. The whole thing.
Shouts out to my lefties out here. We outside. You see, y'all know it. Left side. Y'all know what it is.
I really fought it. I just was like, okay, it's life. What am I going to write about? What do people actually, why would they want to hear my story? And so I had this opportunity that presented itself to be part of a collaborative book. And I was like, okay, I can do that, right? Like, I don't have to write a whole book. I can write a couple stories, do it with a group of friends. And it felt really accessible. And so for me, I was at the point in my healing journey, I'd been going through all these processes, really trying to work through and like find my best self. And I was like, this would be a nice way to finalize that, right? Like, sort of get these stories out and process it. And so the rest is history, it's now all in a book. So,
wow. Okay. How did it feel like once it was written? Like once you did it? Like,
that is like a whole nother journey, the actual process. Nobody prepares you. Like, nobody can tell you what it's like. And if I could bottle it up and sell it, the first part is actually writing it, right? And that is therapeutic in itself, just to process whatever your story is or how much you've learned from it, and to be able to look back where you were to where you are now. And really selfishly, I was writing it for myself, right? I was not writing it with intent to really share it with people. That wasn't what it was for. I wasn't like, oh, hey, look at me. Like, I have all the tips. I know everything. No, I just was putting it out there. And so then once it was actually published, and literally more than one person, bought a book and was reading my words and was sending me text messages and voice memos and just like phone calls of like, Kristin, you don't understand how much this impacted me, like how much I feel seen and I'm not alone. And I was able to connect with your story, and just really, knowing that there were other people who understood some of the things I went through. And that was so powerful, right? To be like, wow, all this time I've been like keeping this stuff in and holding it to myself, and these people needed it. I needed it. I needed that release. And so even now, I mean, still people are like, they're like, listen, I had to put your book down. Like, it was much. It was a lot was going on. It was a little intense, but I needed to read it and I needed to hear it. And I think just some of the topics that are in that book, not just my stories, but the other women too. It's a lot of things that not just women, but people in general, we don't talk about. Like, we don't just sit on the couch with our friends and like talk about suicide, talk about depression, talk about past drug history, things that people have experienced and they need to process and work through. And so I think, when we do that, when we get vulnerable with each other and connect through like this messiness of life, it can be transformative. So write the book. If anyone is thinking of writing a book, write the damn book. Stop playing around.
Yes. I gotta ask this about that, because that's one as an author myself. When I put out my book, one of my favorite moments that still shocks me, like it literally still shocks me that it happened, was the moments when people read the book that I didn't expect to read it, or getting Like, I forgot that you might buy it. Did you ever have any of those moments where you're like, okay, I wasn't talking to you, but I guess you are now the recipient of this message.
Yes, that was a little jarring. I think the good thing is, while I was writing the actual book, my writing coach was very intentional about saying, like, don't worry about your audience, right? You're not do not think that anyone is going to read the book. And I think I legitimately did not think anyone was going to read this book. And then we started reading the book, and I was like, oh, I kind of have to deal with this. I can't hide under a rock anymore. I really have to address this. And again, that was just another layer of transformation, a space where I got to grow as a person, and it was not comfortable, and growth is never comfortable, but I'm really glad that I pushed through that space. But yeah, that is a moment I forgot about. So thanks for bringing that back up. Yeah.
By the way, I got a tidbit to those in the back. And while you're getting this version of us talking about this, I want you to know, write the book like nobody will read it. It does sound crazy, but the content will be so much better. It will be so much more connecting to an audience. It will be so much free. You won't go through the anxiety of the actual writing process. Otherwise, you're starting with anxiety before you are even putting anything out. You might stop yourself.
Yeah.
Write it like no one will read it. Just give it out, like you're giving out the word, and then you'll be like, and then deal with the fallout afterwards. Now, it ain't gonna be that bad,
No,
most likely.
we all survived. We're here. Look.
Right. It might be, and it might lead to conversations that really are needed to be had. Quite frankly, now that's a whole nother thing, but that's life. So, okay, right. I this has been an amazing episode of Hats Off. I love this. We could do this. This is fine. So I ask wait, let me, before I even get there, it feels like you're not done writing though. Like it felt like you were writing, you finished a book, but then it felt like your left hand picked the pen up, and we write real awkward, right? And I felt like I felt like you kept writing with that left hand. Is there more things being written?
Yes, they're in the works. Plural also. My process is crazy. I don't know about other writers. I just know mine is out of control. And I think that's actually how most of us do it, is just everywhere, right? I've got scraps of paper, I got receipts, I've got voice memos and audios and butcher paper, like things just everywhere. And I was speaking with my writing coach the other day, and she's like, Kristin, I think you have like 3 books here. And I was like, no, we're not writing 3 books, right? Like, no, there's not 3 books. She's like, no, really, these are sort of the things you're going through. And so, yeah, I think for me, writing has become another process towards healing, right? Like I'm on this journey of healing, writing for my healing journey, and just being able to document that process helps other people, right? It helps me, number one. That's hands down. But then to be able to share that with other people and have a physical thing that I'm walking away with, it's like, yes, I did it. I survived. Like I can look back at this and went from here to here. That's really cool to have that moment. Not just your memories, but literally a book to document your story. So it's exciting.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I can't wait. When it's time for it to come out, I'm gonna add it on my list of things to do that week. When I put out the reel, it's going to be about 30 seconds in. She's gonna be read a book. Matter of fact, read Kristin's book.
Right.
So y'all look out. I'm gonna tell you when it's coming. Don't play with me. All right, now. I ask all of my guests this because I always find it interesting. Again, this is Hats Off with G Jones. We have the amazing Kristin Bowen, entrepreneur, legendary mind and body coach, and published author, as well as Her Legacy Honoree, just all over, just doing all the things. Okay. I love to ask my guests, if you had to give advice to a younger version of yourself, right? Now you, okay? The younger you, though, right? Before all 4 of them. Ooh, for all 4 of them, right? Right? Give advice to that version of yourself, but the year is still 2024. What advice would you give to a younger version of yourself if the year is still 2024?
This is a tough one because I do not, regret any of my process or my journey, right? But if I could give advice to my younger self, and maybe to anyone in the world, it would be just to love all the parts of yourself, like right now, right? Like love, yes, there's great sides to us. We're funny, we're this, we're that, but love those dark sides too. Like I can be a jealous person at sometimes. I can be a perfectionist. I can have a lot of anxiety. I can be stressed. Um, there's something that happens when you learn to love and accept all the sides of yourself. And I think that's the advice that I would give, right? Is just take it all. Take it all as it comes. I
Yes.
I was gonna say I worked so many years, trying to like change and fix myself. And I remember, so within the last couple of years, my husband was like, "Kristin, I think you're good, right? Like you don't need to keep trying to fix yourself or change yourself. Like all of you is good." And I'm like, wow, how cool is that for someone to say? And I was good before, right? He would have said the same thing 10 years ago. But we are always looking to fix something about ourselves, and I don't think that's it. I think it's just accepting those parts of ourselves, and using them when they serve us, and if they don't serve us, let it go, release that part of you and get rid of it, so
That
we can be whole.
that is phenomenal. That man said, he said, you about to mess up my wife. Can you stop changing? Like, I just need, like, I like where we at. Like, come on, we good. Like, my wife,
I think
like,
yes.
that's real. I love it. I love it. Embrace who you are and walk within that light. That is lovely. Okay, I'm here for it. Now, I do this thing which you might know I did. I don't think I've ever done it. I don't think you've ever heard. I've never done it in front of you. I do this thing where I tell people if you give me a word, then in turn I give you a poem. Right. So while you think of a word, I'm gonna tell the people. Here's where you can check me out. Right. Look at my page. Update your calendar. Right. I give calendar updates. Hopefully, typically somewhere between Monday or Tuesday, depending on how much is chock full. This week it was chock full of stuff, and I'm talking about everything from events to grant fairs to musical performances, whatever you want to do. There's even a soca and paint night on that list. Go and look at that, run that up, go and check that out. Also, catch me here every Thursday, Hats Off with G Jones, talking to some of your favorite people about some of your favorite things that they got going on and how life is moving. Check me out live at Weedstock 420. 421 is when I'm on stage. Me, Aziza Naila, Maul, the DJs on there. We are rocking out. Cosmic Kai, that's 421. And I'm performing in the Metaverse. Say what? Yeah, I'm performing in the Metaverse. I did some things, right? I'm gonna be in Upland Town. Listen, yo, if y'all know where that's at, go and find it. Either way. So we cooking on some things. It's a lot. Just look at my page. We'll talk. Okay. Okay, now with that said, I feel like that was ample time for you to have a word or phrase for me.
I
What you
got a
got?
word. I'm gonna even give you a choice. You can use connect or connection, whatever word.
Okay, I'm a surprise.
Mm.
How about that? I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking. Wait, hold on. Before I talk, is my signal bad? See, most of the time I ask that because when it is, it starts to drop off, and then I seem to find myself mad. And people don't understand. That's when they start to get sad, because they look at who they were and they don't realize that in order to be who you are, you still needed that person. Therefore, you're mad at the changes that you have to make, and that's when your feelings get to hurt. You don't realize that who you are is who you were. That connection never leaves. See, matter of fact, I know what you're thinking, that you're just hoping that that connection can drop for just a second because a new version of yourself is what you expect yourself to need. Incorrect. Sometimes you need to hone in who you always were. See, a lot of times you look at your previous self, and when you seem to look back, you look at that as if it was a blur. No, sir. Okay, I need you to understand that you still agree with your past self in some ways that you would rather not tell the world that you concur. It's just like that. See, a lot of times people feel like it should be broken because they feel like they are broken, but honestly, they are still in a continuous path of healing through the things that were unspoken. I hope that you get it. I don't mean to be unveiling the secret, but a lot of times people don't realize that it just comes to them in a way in which they don't expect it, but they do need it. See, what needs to happen is you have to connect with the self that you've always been in order to find that connection within yourself so that you can always win. That's it.
Something light, you know what I mean? Just put some words together,
Whoa,
you know what I'm saying?
something in light. Woo! That was amazing. That was, I need for playing it. Yeah, I'm taking it, stealing it. I don't know. We're going to use that.
Listen, use it however you want. I ain't mad at it. Okay? Listen, it's for the people. That's what
right.
this is for. Oh, man.
That's
And again, thank you so much for being a guest. Anything you want to say to people before we get up out of here?
Listen, I feel like we poured our souls out here. It has all been put on the table. I've been alluding to like what's up next for Kristin. So yeah, I'm trying to take my coaching business to the next level. I really want to support people in a deep, transformative way, like making big shifts and changes for people, especially us stressed out, overworked moms. Like, I know sometimes it feels like you're dying on the inside. I want to take those moms and help them find their happiness, their peace, and not taking away from their family, like just being able to fill up their cup and still serve all the people. So if anyone's looking for that, please reach out to me. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, all the things, and let's just talk. Let's see if it makes sense and is in alignment and go from there. And of course, entrepreneurs, like, hit up Launcher. Come on. What are you waiting for? Let's do it.
Listen, that's a fact. You can even go to legendarymindandbody.com. It's there, and you can even sign up for a consultation. Not that I know. It's not like I looked at it, but I
You didn't
did.
do any.
So feel free, figure out how you want to build yourself. That is beautiful. Again, thank you so much for joining the show. Yeah, this has been an amazing episode of Hats Off. As I always like to say, love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. Y'all have a good day. All right.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo!